Hi there, it's Justin Lubino with Senior Advisors. Today is November 15th, 2021, and wanted to create this video as we do every year to discuss the updates to the Medicare Part B premiums, which were just announced on Friday, November 12th. So this year was actually the largest increase we've seen in a number of years on the Part B premiums, as well as the income adjusted amounts for folks in a higher income bracket. I guess the good news, according to CMS, is because of the COLA, cost of living adjustment on the Social Security check, most people are still going to see a net increase in their monthly payment from Social Security, even after you take out the Part B premiums. On average, they said it's about $70 a month increase in your Social Security check. So I want to start with that good news before we jump into the increase on the Part B premiums, which again, with the COLA, should still increase your monthly check. So this slide here discusses the increase to the Part B premiums. And this year, the base amount for folks on Medicare is $148.50. And that's about 93% of folks are paying that base premium. Only about 7% are in a higher income bracket that are going to have to pay these additional amounts, which we're going to discuss as well. But that base amount for next year is going up to $170.10. So if you're in the base income, which also increased, which is a good thing, went up to $91,000 for single filers and $182,000 for joint filers. So as long as your income is below those levels, you just pay that base Part B premium, which next year again is $170.10 per month. However, if you're in a higher income bracket, which again is only about 7% of folks on Medicare, you have to pay additional amounts to the government, which are called IRMAAs, income-related monthly adjustment amounts. And as you can see, they go all the way up over $500. And when we look at, there's another IRMAA as well for the drug plan that we're going to look at next. These numbers go actually over $600 a month if you're in one of these higher income brackets. So you can see the second income bracket for single filers is between $91,000 and $114,000, or joint between $182,000 and $228,000, and then so forth. There's four more brackets after that, going all the way up to the top bracket for single filers is above $500,000, and for joint over $750,000 that would pay that top bracket. All right. Now, some folks ask, what income is the government using to determine these income adjustment amounts? Well, it's the last tax return that you've processed. So for example, if you're signing up for January 1st of 2022, the last tax return the government has is actually 2020, because we don't file our 2021 tax return until April of the following year. So this is always kind of 2 years behind when they're looking at the income to determine the Part B premium and the income adjustment. So because of that flaw and that delay, the government actually allows you to appeal these IRMAAs if you're no longer going to be in these income brackets. So we're going to discuss that as well in the next few slides. Before we get there, however, there's also an IRMAA. Again, IRMAA is income-related monthly adjustment amount on the Part D drug coverage. So if you're in that base income bracket, you're just paying the monthly premium for your drug plan, which could be anywhere from $7 a month up to maybe $100 a month for those drug plans. And you pay that premium to the insurance company for the drug coverage. However, if you're in a higher income bracket, you also have to pay the government the IRMAA amount for the drug plan. And it ranges from $12 a month all the way up to $77.90 a month if you're in that top income bracket for the IRMAA on the Part D drug plan. So what we do is we just add these numbers together so you can see if you're in one of these higher income brackets, kind of the total monthly cost to the government. This does not include your supplement or a Part D prescription plan. This is just what you have to pay the government to be on Medicare if you're in one of these higher brackets. Again, the base income, you just pay the base Part B, the $170 a month, $170.10 a month for the Part B. However, if you're in one of these higher income brackets, these are the totals of the Part B premium and those IRMAA amounts for Part B and Part D as in drugs that you have to pay the government. All right. So what's included in the income that they're looking at? Well, it's the modified adjusted gross income. So for most people, this is going to be the same as your AGI or adjusted gross income from your tax return. However, there are certain deductions that get added back in to your modified adjusted gross income, as you can see here on this slide. And then your MAGI can never be lower than your AGI. Again, it'll either be the same or it could potentially be higher if you have any of these deductions that you see on this slide. I mentioned the appeal process. So the appeal can be done when you first go on Medicare and you get that IRMAA letter. If you're in a higher income bracket, you have a window to appeal that IRMAA. So if you're just retiring for the first time, there's a good chance your income's going to drop to a lower income tier. So if you're in one of those higher brackets and they send you that IRMAA letter that explains how much you have to pay, and you say, hold on, I'm not going to be making that income, for this year anymore, you can appeal using one of these reasons you see on this appeal form. The appeal form is SSA 44, and it's 8 pages, but it's mostly just instructions on how to fill out the form. It's really about 2 pages of information you have to fill out. And this is the main thing. You select the event, work reduction and work stoppage are the 2 most likely we've seen, the date of the event, and then you have to fill in your projected income after the event occurs. So for example, if you're making as a joint filer, $300,000 a year, but then you're retiring and you're going to go down to, $100,000 as a joint filer, then you could appeal. You could appeal using work stoppage, and in the form you would project out the $100,000 income, and the government's basically going to take your word for it. And you're going to sign this document, basically saying that what you're giving is truthful information, that you did retire, and you're going to be making, this is your projected income, and they'll remove those IRMAAs. They're going to put you right down into the right income tier based upon your projected income. Now, of course, 2 years later, if you do your tax return and you still come back in at 300,000 or in that higher income bracket, they're going to come back at you for the difference of all those IRMAAs that they appealed down for you. So, it's got to be a valid appeal when you do appeal these IRMAAs. But if you do have a work reduction or stoppage and it's going to lower your income, we highly recommend appealing to reduce those IRMAAs. All right. So here's just a quick example of something I want to discuss as well. For people that are first going on Medicare Part B and they're getting these bills, if you're in, again, this is only about the 7% of people that are in these higher income brackets, and the first couple of bills can be very confusing. And the people that are getting bills are just the people that aren't taking Social Security. If you're taking Social Security, the government's going to take out the Part B premium and the IRMAA amounts directly from your Social Security check each month. But if you're not taking Social Security yet, you're going to get these bills. And the bills are so confusing. And the line level detail in these bills is awful and incorrect at certain times. So I want to try and give you an example for those of you, and this really only impacts that 7%, and they're not taking Social Security, and it's only those first couple of bills. The first one, this is an example. Let's just say that you're in that 4th income tier, which this is the individual tax or individual income or joint income. They would pay a total of $494 a month. That's the Part B and the IRMAA amounts from the charts we just looked at. So the quarterly bill amount should be $1,482. That's 3 months times the $494. But the first bill they get normally only includes the base Part B premium of $170 a month. The government's still kind of factoring through the IRMAA amounts. Maybe they're looking at your appeal if you've appealed it. So that first bill is for the $510.30, which is 3 months times the $170. And the first bill may not be clear about the time frame that they're billing you for, because these bills are just, again, not very clear. The second bill is a huge bill, and you get the second bill and people say, this can't be right. My first bill was $500. My next one's $2,400. What happens on the second bill is they catch up. So now you're in the second quarter of billing, and they're going to bill you the difference for the first bill of what they should have billed, right? That $1,482 minus the $510, which comes out to $971. That's basically the IRMAA amount for that first quarter. Plus they're going to bill you the correct amount for the second quarter, the $1,482. And so your total would be rough, this is just an example, but about $2,453 for this example. By the third bill, now they're caught up and the IRMAAs are being applied correctly, and they bill you that $1,482. So I'm giving you that example again because the bills are not going to be clear. And what I would say is you can always kind of back into these numbers based upon the income tier the government told you should be paying. And if you divide up the number of months you've paid for, in almost every case, the calculation is actually correct. It's just that the bill is not very clear. So I hope that example helps. I hope this video helps. Again, we're just trying to provide the information. Obviously, a lot of people are unhappy about this 14% increase on the Part B premiums. But again, the net result with the COLA and the Social Security, you're still going to see an increase on your monthly pay, check from Social Security for next year. So if you found this video helpful, please like the video. You can put some comments in the video, below the video as well. That helps more people get to see the video. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook to get the latest updates with Medicare. And if you need any help, our number is also below this video. You can give us a call, and we're happy to help you with your Medicare planning. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.